Hi, there definitely has been a lot of talk and interest in all of us to understand and define our purpose. But then, even before we get the discussion around our purpose, it's important to understand that the innermost desire of any human being is that of number one, recognition, number two, that of success. And today we are going to marry these two things, discuss how then does my purpose define my success, or how is my success defined by my purpose. And I have found that in the good book, the Bible, it defines purpose as the very seed or core of that which we want to go out and achieve. That purpose is actually what brings up the drive. That thing that you feel deeply in your heart that you want to go out and do and achieve and give yourself to it all. Actually, that is where your purpose lies. And therefore, in that purpose, then lies your success. So, but very many of us are stuck at a place where, how do I define my purpose? And we are going to have this next session discussing around how to find your purpose. But for today, we are going to discuss the place of purpose in your success. And I'm going to define this in about 7 stages that are, I think, are very important for you to be able to embrace so that you achieve that level of success that you desire. The first aspect to understand is your source. The first most important thing that you need to understand is your source. And your source, I'm not being over religious, but I'm talking about each and every one of us as human beings. Each and every product is rooted in a manufacturer. And the manufacturer understands the purpose or the intent or the process or the being or the functionality of that product that he produces. That's why I do not leave out the place of God the Creator in our purpose, because He is the one who created you and therefore has already an intentional purpose about you. And if you tap into that purpose, then success will not be elusive. Success is actually something that by the time you are created, your success was also created. So if you are looking for success, you need to align and understand your success is also looking for you. So it is important to understand that from the creator's aspect, from the creator's perspective, that God, by the time He was creating, He had already packaged in you the success, the desires, the intent, the fulfillment that you would bring forth into this earth. And I'm just driven to think about Jeremiah, who God is telling when He calls him into prophethood. He tells him that I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. That name knew is not about knowing his name. It's not about identifying and saying that this is Jeremiah, who would then be the son of so and so. That in this context, that is not what God really intended to mean. He intended to mean that He knew what He had placed inside of him, and therefore that is why He was rising him up and calling him into being a prophet. And you see, then Jeremiah makes it in the good book as one of the major prophets. So understand the purpose, the Creator's perspective in terms of purpose by your being actually on earth. The next thing is that the purpose for your creation is to fulfill the success that you were actually born to fulfill. What do I mean? Your success was already established way before you actually were created. You are actually just coming to manifest. Many a times you think about somebody and you see them and you say, I had actually thought about calling you, then I see you. Now the same thing is what we talk about when we talk about our success. Your success today is looking for you because your success was actually the function that actually necessitated for your creation. You are not created, then your success was something that was being produced thereafter. Your success is not a byproduct of you. Your success is not a byproduct of your being here. Your success is part of, and actually was the original intent that necessitated for your creation. It's just like a building. When a developer is putting up a building, he actually has got to sit down with one person who is very important, called an architect, because the architect had the picture how the building will look like upon completion. But now he needs this building to manifest, and therefore goes to a developer and tells the developer, manifest this building. Now the same thing with your success. Your success is already given, but it needs to manifest in terms of you being now able to go out there and actually bring forth the success that is already packaged in you. That's why your success is actually a product that is actually inbuilt into you, but you are born to manifest, to bring forth that success. The third thing is that the packaging of you is all inclusive. And what do I mean when I say this? You are enough at your current capacity, at your current being, at your current situation, at your current status, and where life has placed you. You are actually enough. You just need to believe in yourself and go out there. We are doing an important series where we are talking about you are enough. You are enough because the way you are today, God created you as a complete package. He did not live for some other part that is awaiting manufacturing to actually come in and fix into that you as the product, to make sure that then it performs the function that you are called to perform. I think there's at one point in time I was very frustrated when I went and I purchased a phone, and I was told I think I have to purchase a charger differently, or I have to purchase an earphone differently. And I was wondering, that is one of the functions of the phone. Therefore, when you tell me that this is exclusive, you are then telling me that the whole purpose of this phone is not fixed within itself, and therefore it was not all enough. But what I'm saying is that at the very inception, God had intention that you will actually be enough. That is why we don't need validation. That is why I have come to a point where I do not look upon the validation of men for me to be able to achieve that which I want, because the manufacturer assures me that I am enough, I am content, I am fulfilled, I am a package that is all inclusive. I'm sure we've gone to a restaurant or a hotel or a resort where you are actually booked on an all-inclusive package. What does that mean? That means that there is basically no facility within that establishment that you cannot go into. If you are probably in a hotel in the coast, you can do surfing, you can do deep sea diving, you can do canoeing, you can go to the spa, you can go to the gym, you can swim, you can enjoy pool games, your drinks are all inclusive. They are actually on the house, quote unquote. They are actually factored into the initial cost or initial thought of the manufacturer. So you are all inclusive, you are enough, you are sufficient. There is nobody who has your potential, and you need to make this world complete by manifesting that which God has placed in you, because you are all enough. The fourth thing is that you then need to refine your purpose through acquisition and polishing of skills. Now, God makes you complete, but God intends you for you to polish that which He has put in you. You do not sit there. Remember, look at a classic example is that of an athlete. He is born with the ability to run. He's born with the ability to go out there and win marathons. But day in, day out, they are out there refining their skills. 3 a.m., 4 a.m., they are out running for 3-4 hours continuously. Now, what are they basically doing? They are polishing their skill, because that is inbuilt in them. The talent is inbuilt in them. Their purpose to be an athlete is already packaged at production by God. But then they need to polish that skill and make sure they become relevant in the field that they want to go out and practice in. So, are you polishing your skill today? Are you polishing your talent? Are you polishing your God-given abilities, because that is the only way that then you will become relevant. As you polish it, then people will want to hear you, people will want to see you, people will want to celebrate you. But you have to start from the point where you are actually working on reviewing and repolishing and unlearning the things that you have learned and relearning new skills and actually becoming a better version of you. The fifth thing that you need to do in terms of achieving your full potential is learn the ability to specialize. You learn the ability to specialize. People in the world today is hungry, and the world today is hungry of specialists. It's hungry for people who know what they're talking about. It's hungry for people who have content. It's hungry for people who can deliver. It's hungry for people who know what they are doing end to end. It is hungry for people who can sit you down and guide you in an end-to-end kind of a manner. So today, ask yourself, are you specializing? Are you becoming good at something? When you fall sick, you go to a doctor. When your car gets a problem, you call a mechanic. When Jesus came to earth, he came with a very, very specific goal, and the goal was to die for mankind for the purposes of salvation. He had specialized in his business. So even for you today, you have to specialize in that which you want to do. You have to become better. You have to specialize in something so that that thing actually becomes synonymous to you. You will mention Tiger Woods today, and nobody needs to paint a picture of golf in your mind, but it's already coming. If you mention Usain Bolt, you don't need to mention somebody sprinting, because that's what he has specialized in. If you mention Messi, if you mention Pelé, the late, with all due respect, you actually do not need to somebody to bring your football, but the image of a football is actually already painted in your mind. So today, put yourself and what you want to do in the whole scenario, and ask yourself, when people call you a name, who do they associate it with? Do they associate it with a policeman? Do they associate you with a conman? Do they associate you with integrity? Do they associate you with being a teacher? Do they associate you with being a salesperson? Do they associate you with being a banker? And this leads me to think back at a series that we did in the beginning of the year, where we talked about the question that you should not answer to everybody who asks you, what do you do nowadays? Because that question talks to a lack of the ability to specialize, that people do not relate something consistent in you, and therefore they will always want to know, what are you doing nowadays? So specialize. As you specialize, the sixth thing is that you must give your best. You must give your best. There is nothing as bad as not being the best in the field that you are practicing in. God gives you that ability so that you can empty yourself into this earth. God gives you that ability so that you become an asset, not only to yourself, not only to your family, but also to the world. The world needs good entertainers. The world needs good doctors. The world needs good teachers. So ask yourself today, will you be one of the teachers who can stand? Will you be one of the teachers who can stand and somebody say, you impacted me? Will you be a pilot who somebody says that, was it not for the way you handled that flight, something would have gone catastrophically wrong? So what are we talking about? We are talking about being the best in your field. We are talking about being the best. We are talking about giving the best that God has given in you. Why is Joseph so relevant in the story of Egypt? He's relevant because he was the best even when he was in prison. He was the best even when he was called to serve in the palace, in Pharaoh's government. He was the best. He gave the best that he could, and therefore the history of this world being written cannot avoid Joseph. So ask yourself today, what will history remember you for? And finally, is that you need to monetize. It is important that you monetize your gift. It's important that you monetize your purpose. The Bible says that a man's gift will place him before kings and not before obscure men. What does that mean? That the only stock that you need for you to succeed in this world is actually already inbuilt in you, because God intended for you to have that which that which he placed in you, so that you can then be able, as you impact the world, then the world finds value and the world will be willing to pay for you. Look at it today. When Kipchoge Keino was practicing as a novice athlete, nobody recognized him, and he continued polishing his skills until came to a point where the world is willing to pay just to watch him running. Then come a time in the year 2021, 2022, and in 2023, where even a phone manufacturer actually names a brand or a series of a phone after him. This is because he has learned then, after specializing and after giving the best of him, that then he has to monetize. People have to pay for what is in him, because he's also giving back to society. He's also giving back to the world. He's impacting. He's becoming a valuable resource. So ask yourself today, are you working in your purpose? And you do not need to go to a lot of people to understand your purpose. Your purpose is easy to identify. Your purpose is easy to tag along. Your purpose is easy to manifest, as long as you will follow some few key indicators that we'll actually be sharing in our next video. I hope you find this helpful, and if you do, kindly click on the like button, kindly subscribe to our channel, kindly share this video with somebody, and we hope that it makes a difference for you as you pursue your purpose to become that which the world will actually pay for, to the excellence and glory and honor of the name of God. Thank you very much. Have a great time.